filming live in Neyland Stadium after the Vols just took down the Tide. Fans have stormed the field, ripped both goalposts down. However, they are not allowed to leave the stadium for fan safety. Fans are now, if you take a look, they are ripping grass up from the field.
I'm Gracyn Thatcher bringing you breaking news tonight. Now, the Knoxville Fire Department is responding to a fire that you can still see behind me a little bit. That smoke is still bellowing.
And I'm Gracyn Thatcher from UT's Connections to Elections to a live interview with Knoxville Mayor India Kincannon. We're covering why your vote matters. Hey Vol Nation, Gracyn Thatcher here with the Volunteer Channel. Now we're here at the homecoming parade. Now the floats you're seeing go by on your screen right now, you might notice those little details. And you've been talking about Hurricane Helene as well. I know I was boots on the ground covering it. We had our Alexi Cowan also boots on the ground covering this. What was your experience with that?
I'm in Newport, Tennessee, where many homes and local businesses have been devastated due to flooding.
If you went to the Florida game this weekend, you probably noticed the UT Spirit Squad rocking some new shirts. It's connected to an initiative in the Vol shop supporting those affected by Hurricane Helene. We're here in Loudoun County. You can see those lights behind me where that bridge is shut down. That's I-75. Now we're hearing that 5 cars crashed on that bridge. One of them went over the bridge and into the Tennessee River. Crews are actively working to see if there are any survivors. We start first with what police are considering an attempted murder here on campus. And I'm Gracyn Thatcher. The Gay Street Bridge used to be a shortcut for a lot of students living in South Knoxville, but it was shut down over the summer after a maintenance check found it to be unstable. We are following a breaking news story for you this morning. Now, if you might take the bus or drive via Neyland Drive this morning and you're passing the UT Rowing House, you might notice an ambulance and a police presence there this morning. KPD has reported that they pulled an unidentified body from the river at around 8:30 a.m. this morning. This is a developing story and we will continue to keep you updated. The March Against Fascism just concluded. They walked from T-Rex all the way through campus on Ped Walkway and just ended here in the 21st Mortgage Plaza right in front of the Student Union. Welcome back to the Volunteer Channel's second live special, Trailblazers. Celebrating women across campus, we are live from the Scripps Lab today at the College of Communication here in the University of Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Gracyn Thatcher. Housing has been a big point of contention at the university over the past couple years. I asked Chancellor Plowman what she's planning on doing to help relieve the stress for both students and parents when it comes to the financial side of things. Those little white fuzzies that you've been swatting away, well, those are bugs. So a really big reason we're here today is because for a lot of students on campus, this is their first presidential election that they get to take place in. I mean, kind of tell me, why is it so important for these students to be getting out and voting right now? It's for students, by students. A new delivery service with a twist. Yeah, the morning after the election, many African-American college students across the nation received text messages that some call disturbing. That includes some students right here in Knoxville. They pop up frequently on your phone.
Like, you gotta be joking.
From an unknown number.
Psychological warfare is essentially what it is, to scare people or to try and shift their beliefs or opinions.
Spam texts. Many receive them about a missing package, to sell your house, voting ads. But after the election, some students got a different type of text.
We're in a tough political climate. It's a tough time in America, period, for any party, for any race. And so to joke about that is just like shocking to me.
Cameron received this text at 3:45 a.m. the morning after the election, telling him he needed to report to the nearest plantation the next day and that he would be picked up by their executive slaves.
It's just sick, honestly.
The FBI is now investigating how those texts got sent out. Cybersecurity expert Corey McReynolds says services like TextNow let people create fake phone numbers to send these messages.
They pay for the service. They schedule when it's supposed to go out, and then it gets blasted out from there.
In a statement, TextNow says it found out the text was sent through its system, now working with its partners and law enforcement to investigate. The good news is McReynolds says there are ways to help prevent messages like this. Watch your digital footprint.
Once information is on social media, there's almost nothing you can do to remove it.
The most effective method of prevention is a use of data removal services, but that doesn't mean you won't ever see them.
Ultimately, that's just a phone number, and it's just one point of contact. So it will block that number, but it's pretty easy to get another one to shoot stuff out from.
advice Reynolds has was that you could text any spam number to 7726 and it will actually go to all of the major phone carriers. They will then block that number as spam or phishing. I did also reach out to the University of Tennessee to find out how they are supporting students. And in a statement, they say they are aware of a few students who did receive the text and are offering care and support to those students. They also urge anyone who did receive the text to report it.
Gracyn Thatcher. Thank you, Gracyn.
A 63-year-old tradition making its annual comeback this weekend.
They steal stuff from us, we steal stuff from them.
It began in 1961 after Alabama had been on a consistent losing streak. Their head trainer bet the team that if they beat Tennessee, he'd buy them all cigars.
I think he just continued to buy the players cigars for the Tennessee game. And then fans started seeing the players smoking it, and then on and on and on.
It's the third Saturday in October, the Tennessee versus Alabama rivalry.
If you ask anybody here, they're going to tell you it's the most important game of the season, just because it's the third Saturday in October.
While the teams started playing each other in 1901, the tradition came years later.
My whole time in the cigar business, only once.
In the past 20 years, the Vols have only lit their cigars 3 times.
The fans knew we were going to win. That's why they came out the way they did.
The most memorable when fans rushed the field 2 years ago.
It was just a mad rush to the field. I got thrown over the wall onto the field. I think I twisted my ankle a little bit.
I look back at 22, and we actually doubled our sales. Literally doubled our sales.
In 2022, Smokey sold the cigar that Coach Heupel smoked.
It was actually the Oliva V. Meliano Torpedo.
Smokey's watched to see what cigars were among the winners in 2022, making sure they were an option for fans when purchasing.
Coach Heupel, the cigar he smoked, the cigar Peyton smoked, the cigar Jalen Hyatt smoked.
All among the list of options this week.
But the question remains, who will be lighting their cigars this weekend? In Knoxville, I'm Gracyn Thatcher, Vol News. While several direct flights from Florida airports have been canceled, that hasn't stopped fans from finding their way to Knoxville. With the rivalry dating back to 1916, this will be the 55th game between the Vols and the Gators.
Big SEC rival game. Looking forward to it. Sets it up for the Alabama game next week.
Florida fans are making sure they can be there for the game.
It feels a little bit like homecoming, you know? It's always fun to see people who share that kind of community outside of Florida.
This is the first matchup between the teams after both states have faced tragedy. Many in East Tennessee are cleaning up from Hurricane Helene. And now in Florida, many are seeing the damage after Hurricane Milton. Some homes destroyed and streets flooded.
I think it might have some extra importance because I think Florida needs a little bit of something to cheer for right now. So I think the game could be something that would really give them a rallying cry.
Some fans chose to come to Knoxville early. One man lives in the Tampa area and flew into town Monday night ahead of Milton.
Felt a lot better being here than riding out the storm, even though lots of people stayed. I just felt more comfortable getting out of the way.
But a hurricane won't stop the third Saturday in September.
I think it'll be a lot of Florida fans here.
Cheering on their favorite teams.
I think anytime you can find a way to bring people together when you might otherwise be struggling is important.
In Knoxville, I'm Gracyn Thatcher, WVLT News. The Imagination Library is a book gifting program that mails free books to children no matter their family's income. Kay Hurst, the program manager of the Knox County branch, shares the initial inspiration.
Literacy was a really big passion for Dolly because her father couldn't read. And she had always said that he was like the smartest person she'd ever known, but she knew that held him back from achieving everything he wanted to be.
It all began with a trailblazer for literacy in her East Tennessee community and beyond, the book lady herself, Miss Dolly Parton. Since Dolly launched the program in 1995, over 270 million books and counting have been sent out.
Having access to books makes a huge difference in the literacy rate for students entering school.
Taylor Garrett, a proud participant from the early days of the program, shares her experiences.
My favorite part about it was just getting a new book every month and having that option to reread stories at bedtime or to get a new story, and it was always diverse copies of things.
Imagination Library members receive one book every month free of cost from birth to age 5.
One of my favorite books that I got was about a school resource officer and his dog, and it was called Officer Buckle and Gloria. And I still remember almost every word to the first 2 pages of that book.
And there's a lot of thought put into every book sent out.
It's to teach empathy. It's to teach language skills. It's to teach basic information like letters and numbers and colors.
And that teaching is done by the variety of books the children are exposed to.
And then it also gives them the opportunity to learn about things that excite them. So maybe it's dinosaurs, maybe it's space, maybe it's, trains. And so, one book might really hit a note with them, one book might not, but that gives the child the chance to start learning what excites them.
So it was stuff that my mom didn't necessarily know to buy. So to have that at our doorstep was really awesome.
Now, Garrett is using the lessons from her childhood to make an impact on higher education, as she finishes her master's degree to become a certified English teacher for grades K through 12. Using the books from her childhood to make an impact in high school classrooms.
I'm seeing that there are more and more places, even at the high school level, where you can go back in and you can implement children's literature and teach basic concepts.
From mailbox to classroom, the Imagination Library is mailing 2 million books to children every month, inspiring a love of reading with every page. In Knoxville, Gracyn Thatcher, Vol News.